Hey guys, welcome to my presentation on National Airspace Systems for our Special Use Airspaces, also known as the McPRONS acronym, which I'm sure we all are very familiar with. So this is for my Aviation 322 class. Here's my presentation on it. Let's get started, go over what the airspaces are, what their uses are, and what they're for. Alrighty. So types of airspaces, I'm sure in private pilot training, a lot of y'all have referred to this acronym as the McPRONS acronym, which is MCPRAWNS. What they are is M for MOA, C for controlled firing area, P for prohibited, R for restricted, A for alert area, W for warning area, N for national security area, and S for SFRA, SIFRA, which is special flight rules area. All right, so start here with M on the checklist. We have MOA, Military Operations Area. So it's known as the MOA for short. What this is, it's published on your VFR sectionals and your IFR. It is to separate IFR traffic between military when they're training and flying. So yes, that's why that's there. Military training often happens out there, maneuvers, high-speed stuff, etc. Um, so yeah, one way to know it's active, if you have ForeFlight, like an up-to-date one, it'll show it. Also, your flight service station and ATC can also change your route because of this if it is active, but they will let you know. So not the biggest issue. You're still allowed to fly through them. All right, and so next up here is a controlled firing area, also known as a CFA for short. These are non-hazardous to aircraft of our types. Reason being is ground ops. There's generally due to shooting or firing of weapons on the ground for military. They don't have it published. Reason being is, well, you don't have to worry about it because they have spotters looking for aircraft. You can find where they're located in the chart supplement, but they're not published on your VFR sectional. So really simple, really easy. All right, next up here is a prohibited area. Prohibited, this means what it means. It means there are no flights at all except for military aircraft. Reason being is to protect the nation's welfare. These are highly encouraged and required that you do not fly through these at all, or else you're going to face some serious fines and punishments and a nice talk from the FAA. So do not do it. These are published on your charts. Every chart has them published due to legal reasons and our safety and our nation's safety as well. So that is prohibited. Next up here is restricted. Restricted is different than prohibited area. A restricted area, you are allowed to fly through it, but you do have certain restrictions such as altitudes, certain times, and GPS directions that you can fly through this. Now, however, if it is active, you do have to get approval to fly through this by ATC. They will tell you, hey, you're cleared to fly through this, but you're going to have to follow some rules and restrictions. This is similar to an MOA in a way because there is military testing, but it's military testing on the ground, and they don't want you getting in their way of missiles being shot up for testing purposes. It does have active times, and those times are published on your flight service stations and on your charts as well. Just refer to ATC and they will tell you. Also, we have an alert area. Alert area, often due to high training volumes of student pilots. So there's a lot of training aircraft in the area. Most of the time, it is VFR traffic. So what this means is stay alert, be mindful, be watching, keep an eye out for all this traffic because on VFR days, you're going to be dealing with a lot of student pilot traffic that's training, and they might not be paying as much attention as they should be either. So we just have to stay alert, do our thing, we're good. Now we have a warning area. Warning areas off the United States coast generally extends about 3 nautical miles. Reason being is to warn pilots. That's why it's a warning area due to different alerts such as hidden and non-hidden alerts. Some of the hidden alerts might be, hey, there's a radar going around that the Navy is using to look for certain things. So be mindful because that can mess up with your GPS transmissions. And then some like the non-hidden ones are, well, there's naval testing. This is a real thing. They do tests out there with aircraft all the time. So it's like MOA in a way, kind of, but off the coast. And now we have national security. National security here is it's a recommendation. It's not like restricted or prohibited. You are allowed to fly through them. Um, but there's some limitations. So you have to avoid this area due to a ground event. So an example of this football game, Virginia Tech up the road. Um, when that's game day, they put a TFR, which is a temporary flight restriction, over the stadium. And reason being is they have a huge excess number of people there. It's over 25,000 people you're required to have a TFR put up. This goes for concerts, etc. And it's like a minimum altitude, 4,000 feet. So don't fly below it, directly over it. Easy as that. It's just for safety reasons. And special flight rules area, the CIFRA, it's out in Washington, D.C. You have to have a flight plan and you have to be cleared and file it. There's heavy penalties if you do go through it and bust it. Reason being is for safety and security of our nation and other aircraft and our government itself. And also, you have to take a special class, special training to go be able to fly into this, which I've done. It's an easy class on the FAA's website.